are the people who have ousted Speaker McCarthy? There's 8 Republicans. So, you know, let's take a look at them. This Lindsay Cormack, C-O-R-M-A-C-K, at DC Inbox is Lindsay's Twitter handle. Posted a thread about this morning that I just reposted because I thought it was so good. So it starts out, Andy Biggs of Arizona. Who are these 8 people? Number 1, Andy Biggs of Arizona has been in Congress since 2017. In that time, he has successfully authored and passed one law, and that was to designate the Department of Veterans Affairs outpatient clinic as the Staff Sergeant Alexander Conrad Veterans Affairs Health Clinic. In other words, it's to name a health care clinic. That's the only thing that Andy Biggs has done since he's been in Congress, since he got into Congress in 2017. One piece of legislation to name a building. Ken Buck of Colorado has been in office since 2015. He has never successfully sponsored a piece of legislation signed into law. Tim Burchett of Tennessee has only been in Congress since 2019, but like Buck, he too has never successfully authored a piece of legislation signed into law, writes Lindsay Cormack. Eli Crane, also of Arizona, is brand new. He really doesn't do legislating at all. He does, however, spend a lot of time on right-wing media and does send really strange official e-newsletters. Wrecking Ball Matt Gaetz of Florida has been around since 2015, and he has never successfully passed a piece of legislation. Bob Good of Virginia has been here since 2008. He's got one thing to his name to go to the president, which is where it was vetoed. He had one piece of legislation. It was providing for congressional disapproval under the Department of Education. Nancy Mace of South Carolina is newer than Andy Biggs, but she too only has one bill renaming a facility, a post office, to her credit. Matt Rosendale of Montana has only been in office since 2021, but like everyone else on the list, he's never successfully passed a law. Lindsay Cormack says, I know passing laws is hard and not the sole work of any one person, that many members are not successful in the partisanship and leadership, blah-de-blah, but don't be fooled into thinking these are good, effective governing members of Congress. These are people who just never do anything. Boy, amen. Meanwhile, in this incredible dick move, they have kicked both Steny Hoyer and Nancy Pelosi out of their offices, out of their cubbyholes. And they're all over Fox News and right-wing media going, it was the Democrats who kicked out Kevin McCarthy. How dare they? It was all the Democrats' fault. Right. Finally, last story I wanted to share with you. This is fascinating. This is what happens when you have a national health care system. Over in the United Kingdom, Rishi Sunak is their prime minister. He's a conservative. And he is calling for their parliament to, right now the age for smoking is 14 years old, apparently, from what I'm reading. And he is calling for that smoking age to be raised 1 year a year forever. So next year you'd have to be 15 to smoke. The year after that you have to be 16. The year after that 17. 20 years from now you need to be 34 to smoke. 30 years from now you need to be 44 to smoke. Now why, in other words, he wants to phase out smoking in the United Kingdom. Now why does he want to do this? Because smoking is killing so many people and it's costing the country so much money, and everybody pays for it through their national health care system. See, when a country has, Medicare for all, has a national health care system like the United Kingdom, well, like every democracy in the world except the United States has, then the government has an incentive to take steps to keep people healthy, because when you don't keep people healthy, it costs you tax dollars. If there was ever an argument to be made for why we should have a national health care system in a conservative frame, in a classic Republican frame, in a fiscal austerity and spend your money carefully frame, this is it. Right? The prime minister of the country is saying we've got to eliminate smoking because it's costing our national health care systems too much money. This is why we need a national health care system in the United States. It changes all the incentives. Right now we have what are called perverse incentives. Health insurance you've got drug companies and surgeons and whatnot who make money when people get sick. You've got health insurance companies that are just trying to make a profit, and they screw people who get sick. But, it doesn't hurt, the federal government, so they just don't care about it. It's amazing.